born and raised in the Gaspé. It's like a little peninsula northeast in Quebec, just above New Brunswick. My mom's French, my dad's English, so I'm perfectly bilingual. And then, yeah, wanted to be an actor since I was 9, you know, the typical actor story. And I went to theater school in Montreal, Dome Theater, for 3 years. And that was crazy. And then I worked on a movie of the week, Perfect Teacher. And I met a girl, an actress, and she sort of was like, oh, you're great, like you should come into LA, like come and visit. So I did that. It was a very unique experience. So I came back and I realized that, I mean, Montreal's great, it's a small community, people that, like, just everyone knows each other, but there's a lack of motivation. People just sort of get comfortable and wait. And I'm not, I wait, but I'm proactive. So yeah, I moved to Toronto and then got into the CFC, went to the Canadian Film Centre and the Actors Conservatory, graduated last February. And then after that, and I've been working in film and TV since, you know, I graduated theater school. The whole web series thing is really appealing. Like, you know, short bits, it's up on the web, anyone can see it. And I was like, why not? Let's just do a web series. I'm gonna produce and star in a web series. And yeah, I took a web series class at Centennial College. Cool. And then showed up to class, was not prepared whatsoever, and the teacher was like, oh, so pitch your concept. And I've always been a good student, so I just came up with a random concept of a young man turning into a woman. And so that's where it all started, and I got writers on board, and so Sarita Parmar from the CFC, and Kevin Kincaid, who's a producer from the CFC, Chris Agustin, CFC as well. And then Chris got Ian McMillan, who's an amazing DP. And it just sort of happened. And we're hitting 80,000 hits on YouTube today. It was, well, I live in a communal home with all my girlfriends. And so we're four girls and 1 guy. And so I've been there for 2 years, and I would tease him. I was like, dude, like, you're gonna grow a vagina. And so it was in my mind, and I would tease him and be like, oh, I'll write a script about you. I'll you know. And then so when I went to class, like, she put me on the spot. I was like, come up with something. I was like, it's a guy who turns into a girl. God, it's called Werewoman. I'm also a huge geek. I love vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. Again, like I said, going to the CFC was like the most amazing experience because I was there as an actor, but I got to work with the directors and the producers and the editors and the writers. So I really got to see what it's like to be on the other side of the camera. Mm-hmm. And I've always been into directing and producing. I just didn't know how. And so, and we did quite a bit of, you know, creating our own work and sort of producing it. So I got a taste of that and I liked it. And so when I graduated and the whole Werewoman concept came about, I knew, again, like Lena Dunham from Girls, she's like my hero. Like a young woman who just decides to create her own work, and she has a very unique voice, and she's provocative, and she doesn't care, and she's going to put out her work, and I think that's amazing. So I just sort of wanted to do the same thing. I've always been a really good student, and I do what I'm told, and I do things right, and, you know, I was a perfectionist, and, you know, very intellectual, and the feedback I got was like, get out of your head, do, like, you have all these ideas, like, stop talking about them and do them. and I was always cast as like the young ingenue, and that really sort of pissed me off, because it's like I'm so much more than just a cute face. So in theater school, I was fighting against my hit. Like, I mean, I always wanted to play Juliet, but I remember auditioning for The Cherry Orchard or Rock and Roll. I was just like, I don't want to be the kid. I don't want to be the cute lover. I don't. But that didn't happen. I got cast as like the ingenue in every single production. But then when I went to the CFC, they really gave us, you know, carte blanche. They were like, do what you want to do. I mean, I'd love to. I mean, I think it's sad that I really haven't had the time or the balls to go back to stage, because I am trying to make a living off of this. So, but totally, like, I always try to make the offbeat choice in my acting. It doesn't always work out. But I remember playing Juliet, and I refused to play her the way it's been played before. I like the whole, like, there's a fire inside, and playing with opposites. There's a lot of that in Werewoman, where I just reverse, like a reversal of, you know, you'd expect this from this person, but then that one does it, or, you know, the gender stuff. And but definitely, I wish I could do more stage. We applied for the Independent Production Fund. We made it to the second phase, and now we'll know by June, I think, if we get funding. And then we'll be shooting this summer. But my producer, Kevin Kincaid, is going to LA to pitch on like an organized trip for producers. And so he was selected to go, and he gets to pitch a pilot or a few pilots to whoever he wants. So Werewoman is one of his pilots. So hopefully. To stop caring. Well, to care, but to not care so much that it paralyzes you. In terms of, you know, being bold and like, if you want to put your ideas out there, and to not care about the response, but to not let it rule your world. You know, same thing with audition. Like, you walk in and you care so much, you just want to please them. Well, how about pleasing yourself first? Yeah, just to stop caring. It's strange advice, but I've been forcing myself to not care as much, because it's an industry of just like rejection. You audition and it's a no, and you're not right for the part, and you're in a movie and you get cut, and then you put your ideas out there on YouTube, and there's like hundreds of people commenting.